especially my daughter, who now has less rights than I have. And I remember my father telling me many, many years ago that I was the first person in his family to enjoy full civil rights. And now I have less civil rights than I had when he told me that. I think that going forward, the convicted felon box on employment applications better be taken off, because if you can be the president of the United States, then you should not be prevented.
Megyn Kelly destroys Joy Reid's horrific and vile statement, especially when it came to Trump as well as the presidential election. Now, there's basically here, there's no, is basically a lot of craziness being discussed here. The panel including Megyn Kelly about Trump having a strong personality and Kamala having no personality at all, as you all seen. And they also play, you know, a clip of where Kamala as evidence, and, you know, Megyn Kelly brings up Joy, the fantastic great Joy, that where they play a clip of her blaming white women, says that she says Joy has lost the joy and plans to double down on this message. But, you know, of course, this goes into a crazy discussion with Megyn Kelly and others as they talk about Joy Reid. Let's go ahead and get right into it. And before we start, go ahead and smash the like button. If you enjoyed this video, go ahead and share this video for our cross media. Let's get into it.
He's a personality, and people, Nate Silver had, I think, the best summation of his appeal is that he's like a billboard lawyer, right? Like you don't get him necessarily because you think that he's the most polished and articulate. You get him because he's going to go punch somebody in the mouth. Yeah. But that is a positive vision of, you know, he's his own personality. She did not run on a personality.
Authentic and familiar versus inauthentic and maybe completely alien. She's the vice president, but you have no idea who this person is.
And with no plan, right? I mean, time after time, when she did put herself out there and she was asked what exactly on the border, like, why didn't you do it earlier? You say now that you're going to be John Wayne, you know, you're going to go down there, you're going to crack some skulls and get it, you know, and why didn't you do it earlier? She didn't have an answer. It led to one of the most infamous, in my view, exchanges. It was at the CNN town hall. And this is the best she could come up with after having been pressed on this by Stephanie Rule and others. This is not her first crack at it. Why not earlier? I love it. Take a look at, 104.
Some voters, though, might ask, you've been in the White House for 4 years. You were vice president, not the president. But why wasn't any of that done for the last 4 years?
Well, there was a lot that was done, but there's more to do, Anderson. And I'm pointing out things that need to be done, that haven't been done, but need to be done.
She is so bad at this. I just want to say that the art of bullshitting, my friend Eli Lake has one of the best podcasts I've listened to in a very long time about the difference between lying and bullshitting. It's up on the Honestly feed, Barry Weiss's feed. And he has this kind of deep investigation on how politicians bullshit and why that's different from lying. You have to be able to bullshit. His argument, which I agree with, is that Americans not only tolerate bullshit, they actually kind of like it. They don't like lying. And that is not good bullshit. She has no idea where to go. And she's like,
A potty mouth on this person.
we've done things, but we'll do more. But why didn't we do them in the past? Because we're going to do them in the future. It's like, wait,
They need to be done.
that was good. That was not bad. I should actually run. But the thing is, it's like the kid who you're a teacher and he doesn't bring the homework in. And he's like, I'll get it to you tomorrow. Doesn't get it. And then the third day, I'll get it to you. You just stop believing them.
Yeah, right.
You had the years. You didn't do anything. Why would I believe you now?
And honestly, it's like I object to your laziness and not preparing a better answer.
Yeah,
you know, if you're going to spin me, at least put some effort into
They
that.
must have had these sessions, because this is what happens with politicians before debates and before town halls, that they're drilled by the people around them. Those have to have happened.
No, but you remember the reporting on how she doesn't like to do her homework.
Yes, and that's what I'm like. There are people telling her what to say, and she just, not listening, I guess.
The only homework she appears to have done is to have studied those note cards before the debate, to memorize
Debate
10 to 12 canned answers that she could just deliver. And she was good at that. She did remember her lines, but she could never do it in the interview context. I never understood why they just didn't do that prior to the interviews.
Because Kamala got them wrapped around her finger. This is the mainstream media we're talking about right here. Okay, Megyn Kelly, I love her to death, but it's like she knows what's happening. Okay, she knows what happened. And the fact of the matter is, Kamala, as well as those who are out there shilling for Kamala and everything, they were desperate, okay? They were really desperate. We all know this. You know this. I knew this. Heck, We all knew that Trump was going to win anyway. We just didn't know about how big of a deficit it was going to be. And the fact of the matter is, all of this is because of Kamala Harris herself and the Democrat Party, as well as the mainstream media. They're the reasons why Kamala lost, okay? They're the reasons, and we've seen the same thing with Hillary Clinton back in 2016, 2015, where the media was covering up for Hillary Clinton and coddling for her and everything. But this doesn't even change the fact that, the same thing's happening. It's just happening. It just happened worse, okay? Point blank and simple as that. All right. So the fact of the matter here is Megyn Kelly she is going to get into the right point and stuff. I am sorry to cut this off discussion we have by Megyn Kelly and others on the panel, but we're going to go ahead and get right back into it.
There's not a huge range of subjects you're going to get asked about. You might fall down on the job and maybe 2 or 3 that we didn't prepare you for. But if you memorize these 12 note cards on the core subjects, you can do well with Anderson Cooper. You could even do well with Bret Baier. She didn't, or they didn't. I don't know. It doesn't matter. It's all, it leads us to the same place. So I want to make this point. Going back to the new Scarborough, I told you, I completely understand everybody. The trans insanity and better messaging on inflation. They bring back Chris Matthews, who, everybody's bringing back the guys they fired.
I was so happy to see him. It's been
Stelter's back on CNN and Matthews is back on MS. The morning show, it's like the left hand's not talking to the right hand. The morning show needs to talk to the evening shows because Joy Reid is not pulling away.
This is not a Joy campaign anymore.
She is not pulling away from the core messaging. This was one of her initial reactions last night. Let's play SOT 9.
Black voters came through for Kamala Harris. White women voters did not. That is what it appears happened in that state, is that if you can't flip enough white women, and we've talked about this on this set numerous times, is that you have a state where you've got a 6-week abortion or a 12-week abortion. I think theirs might be 12 weeks. But it's a state where women lost their reproductive rights, where there was a very heavy push to get women to focus on not putting in place, re-electing, putting back into the White House the person who was responsible for taking those rights away and restoring them. But that message obviously was not enough to get enough white women to vote for Vice President Harris, a fellow woman. This will be the second opportunity that white women in this country have to change the way that they interact with the patriarchy.
That's because, unlike Joy Reid, white women who voted for Trump out there actually used their brains. Okay, and this is basically what Megyn Kelly is saying. It's going to say here, the fact that white women who voted for Trump are using their brains, or possibly, I haven't watched this video clip yet, but possibly also because of the fact that, they actually saw Kamala, who she was. Joy Reid is known for believing that she got things right, but in the end, she actually wrong. But the fact of the matter is, white women who supported Trump, first and foremost, Joy Reid claimed that white women showed up for Trump and black women showed up for Kamala. Actually, it's a big number of black women and a huge number of white women showed up for Trump. And there's smaller numbers of white women and of the white liberal women and black liberal women showing up for Kamala and everything. All of them because since she's female or supposed black female when she's not really all fully black. It's like that's when they saw through the identity politics. They care about how much the food's going to cost, or how much the husband's going to bring in and stuff. How much money going to take home and stuff to feed their families, feed themselves, take care of their families, take care of themselves, and all of that. Basically, living a basic, decent life. Okay, and we can talk about the American dream all we want to, but the simple fact of the matter is, under Biden as well as Obama, the American dream was gone. Okay, and now it's coming back under Trump. So let's go ahead and get right back into this video with discussion with Megyn Kelly and others.
And they didn't do it. That's the problem. The white women are the problem because they don't understand how to interact with the patriarchy, which I don't think that's going to be a winning message during the 4 years we're about to have of Trump. But she's going to double down. And it's not just Joy Reid over on MSNBC. The ladies of The View.
Love them.
You're here. I had to do it.
By the way, we were in the other room and it was literally on. And I was like, when you come to Megyn Kelly's, The View is on.
She likes to hurt us.
Yes, Sunny Hostin was reading a card about something.
Here you go.
Yeah.
Speaking of Sunny Hostin, take a look at SOT 15.
I worry not about myself, actually. I don't worry about my station in life. I worry about the working class. I worry about my mother, a retired teacher. I worry about our elderly and their Social Security and their Medicare. I worry about my children's future, especially my daughter, who now has less rights than I have. And I remember my father telling me many, many years ago that I was the first person in his family to enjoy full civil rights. And now I have less civil rights than I had when he told me that. I think that going forward, the convicted felon box on employment applications better be taken off, because if you can be the president of the United States, then you should not be prevented from employment in this country. I'm worried about mass deportation and internment camps, and I'm also worried about Elon Musk warning Americans.
Donald Trump in 2020. Do you want to call them fascist sympathizers? Because fascism means one thing, and we know what they're telegraphing. They're telegraphing Hitler. The New Republic had Donald Trump's face with a Hitler mustache on it. They were less subtle. We have this thing every day when it's like, you know, the historians are going to be thrown in prison. They're going to round us journalists up and put us in camps.
And she just said
no
camps.
one cares about you. Literally, no one gives a shit. Stop thinking that anyone cares what you think. We care about you because we get to make fun of you. Because you're a fucking idiot. I'm sorry. I'm very exercised this morning because I'm hungover and because I hate these people so much. But can we stop this? The Hispanics, there are minorities. They're this, that, and the other. You talk to Hispanic people, they're like, what? Did you see there's a Harvard study about the use of the word Latinx?
Yeah, they're not.
And it went like
2%.
You know, if it was like anyone even around it, it negatively rebounded on everything around them.
How many times do I have to tell you it's Latinx?
Is that
Well, there's a debate.
It's not that we don't know for sure.
No, it's not settled.
No, because no one uses it, so we actually don't know how to say it.
Even that is still under debate. Hold on. Speaking of Latinos, take a listen to Harry Enton over on CNN summarizing what happened. I know he's been doing a great job. SOT 17.
Look at this. Kamala Harris won Latinos in Pennsylvania, but just by 15 points. If you go back 4 years ago, among Latinos in Pennsylvania, Joe Biden's margin was, get this, John, 42 points. Donald Trump winning among Latinos in Florida by 18 points. Now, you might say, you know, Latinos in Florida, Cubans. As you two were pointing out, it wasn't just Cubans. But keep in mind...
And how they interact with it.
And, you know, with Sunny Hostin, she's talking about she's worried about the working class. What is the realignment? The realignment is a working class realignment.
Yep.
I mean, that the Latinos have more of a working class than the whites and the white women and everybody else.
But you know, this is yet another liberal elite bullshit line of like, you're too stupid to know what's good for you.
Yes.
And I've seen that firsthand myself because I used to be a Democrat, and Megyn Kelly, she's right. I mean, she worked for both Fox News and NBC and stuff. So both sides of it. And yeah, now that she's, you know, doing her own thing and everything. Now she's spoken to, you know, the left side being the biggest fascist and the right. And on some occasions also exposing those who are on the right. But the fact of the matter is Trump won, as shared by Megyn Kelly and others, because he won the Latino vote, and so because of the fact that he reached out to the working class. He gave them promises based on the things that they knew they need. He reached out to them because of the fact that he knew what they wanted, they knew what they needed and everything. Megyn Kelly, she actually using this platform to go ahead and push it further out there. Possibly one of the many voices out there, Megyn Kelly, convinced people to go ahead and vote for Trump. So let me know your thoughts about this in the comments below. Also, be sure to include any additional thoughts you might have this particular topic. If you enjoyed what I shared in this video, go ahead, smash the like button, share this video far wide across social media. And if you haven't done so already, you enjoyed all the content that I put out there, go ahead, subscribe to the channel, click the bell notifications so that way you'll be notified of future uploads and updates. Till then, peace.